So welcome friends, welcome to your channel Efficient Corporates. In the last video, we have seen that there were some rules, 5 rules, which we discussed on how you can use those rules to bring in office efficiency at your workplace. So today we will be discussing about some tools that we can use, which will definitely be helpful in bringing in that office productivity and being more efficient and being less busy. So let's start. Okay, so in our last video, we discussed the 5 rules, and the last rule was about automation. Okay, so when we said automation, I said that there are multiple tools that we can use to bring in office efficiency at our work. So now, already in our channel, we have many such tools which we discussed, and also we have a tutorial where we discuss about how you can make those tools on your own. We definitely visit that for that, but for now, talking about the basic tools that we can use. So our main focus on this will be automating your repetitive MIs and reports, because that is what the most of the work in admin offices or that because okay, so here we're not talking about bringing efficiency in your factories or godowns, right? We're just talking about bringing efficiency where most of the professionals work in their system. So it may be HR, marketing, finance, or any other field, but where there are professionals working, there is some reports, there's some data with which they are dealing. So that is the major thrust of the entire the basic tools intro that we'll be having. So these are some tools which I believe are at your disposal, and you can definitely use it any time. Here again, one more disclaimer: I will not be talking about any other productivity tools that you can have. You can be there are some task management software, so there are some other third-party tools which will help you to bring in office productivity in some or other way. Maybe something like having your task manager or having your calendars or something like that where you can assign tasks. So I will not be talking about any such third party tools, because it will again be very descriptive, and it may not relate to your office or your company directly. So we'll talk about some basic tools, some general tools which are available right there, and the third party apps you can definitely search it out. And here we'll be talking about majorly about the these 3 tools. Okay, Excel, some RP tools, and Python. So again, talking about the Microsoft Excel, we will be talking about how Power Query and even macros will be working. It's not only about a simple Excel, but also how Excel can be leveraged to automate the work, which we have discussed, how it can be used to standardize the work, and how you can do a time and motion study, and how you can automate that work. So all these things, even the knowledge management, Kado, a bit of portion is there, like the write-up thing that you can do in an Excel. So that we'll be discussing how we can do it. And Power Automate. I'm just using the word Power Automate. This is the Microsoft Power Automate app, but there are many other RPA tools which we have listed in the point 4, that UI path and automation anywhere and something like that. These tools are there, and Python and its libraries at last. So these are the different tools that you can use. So talking about a basic, a broad bifurcation, I would bifurcate into these 3 tools. One is Excel, one is RPA tools, and one is Python. So I've just made a comparison about main three main aspects about what these tools can do. Let's move it over here. Okay. So now talking about ease of use, which is easy to use. So Excel has 5 stars. Like, it is the easiest to use out of these all the other tools. RP has a 4 star. It is quite easy because we don't need to code. It's again and click, drag and drop. So it is a bit harder than Excel, but it is easier than Python. And Python is the most hardest of these 3. So I would say Python is still easy to use, but if you talk about compare it with Excel and some RP tools, then it's definitely harder. So I give it a 3 star and out of 5. Now cost. So which will be cost friendly. So Excel has a 4 star because there are some Microsoft 365 versions which have a paid subscription. That's why it has don't have a 5 star, because there are some paid versions of Excel where you have to buy the subscription so that you can use those high-end tools. But the basic tools, the Power Query, these are available for use. So it has a 4 star. RP tools, I give it a 3 star because most of the advanced function which we can do using an RP tools are usually only for the paid or the pro users. Okay, and these are not available to everyone. So that I give it a 3 star. Python is a 5 star in this case because Python is freely available. It's an open source software, and you can do anything. And there is never a limit that okay, you have to pay for it. There is never such library or never such code that you have to use this code. You have to pay for it because you develop it on your own. It has a 5 star for cost. It is the best tool if you compare in terms of the cost. It has a 5 star. So 5 star doesn't mean that it's the most expensive. Okay, it means that it has no cost involved. capability, like how much or what things it can do. So Excel capability wise, it has restricted itself to data analysis and a bit of if you use a bit of macro, then you can do some application integrations. But still, the capability I would rate it as a 3 out of 5 in compared to other tools. For RP, again, capability is 4 because it can do many things that Excel can do. Plus, in addition to integration with some other applications, it's very seamless and that's easy to do. And that's why. And the 4-star Python, I give again a 5-star, that the capability is immense. There's means there is no end. I have, as when I was teaching the Python tutorial, I was saying anything can be automated. So that is the power of Python. It can do anything. Any task which you have, you just need to know how to use it and can do it. So this is a basic comparison of the tools. And moving forward, selection of the right tools is very important, like using X for cutting a tree, not a paper. So it depends on what task you have. I would not say, okay, Python is the best tool, go for Python, you leave Excel, because there are many such small tasks for which Python is not required at all. So that is why it's very important to select the right tool, select the X for cutting a tree and not a paper. So suitable use case for Excel, when we should go for using an Excel. So the first case is most of the work is to be done within Excel sheets. Like you have to take data from an Excel sheet, you have to analyze data in an Excel sheet, you have to make the report in an Excel sheet. So if the majority of the work, like 50-60% of the work is to be done in an Excel sheet, then though that work can be done using Python, but I would not encourage you to use Python for that. Because if the work is to be done within Excel, you can use Power Queries, you can use like something, a small VBA, something like that. If you can do that things in Excel, and already Excel is the file which is majorly involved in all your steps, so then you should go for Excel. Maybe that you think that, okay, no, this thing cannot be done in Excel, because just because you don't know it, that there are some functions that can do that, or you don't know the way things are linked, and things can be automated by just a plain Excel file. Okay, so Excel is a great tool. I would say that any of the work, and majority of the work, if you are in a corporate, then you already must be working in some Excel files. And if you do that, then you can you definitely, you should go for the first choice should be that I will automate this work using this Excel only. Okay, and provided that you do not have an integration with other apps, like you don't have to integrate with Gmail, you don't have to integrate with the Google Drive or something like that. So if integration with other apps are there, Excel might not be a good choice. But if there are minimal integration, then yes, Excel is the thing you should go. Next, talking about the use case for RPA tools. So RPA is robotic process automation. It will just automate the multiple steps that we perform in our MIS making or any reports making or any of the tasks we perform. If there are some repetitive steps or step by step logical step, then RPA tools is the one you should go. So if I talk particularly about Power Automate, it has a very good integration between all the MS Office apps. Okay, you can integrate it very well with the OneDrive to fetch a file, to combine the file with an Excel, to mail the file using an Outlook, and to save the files again back in the OneDrive. All these things can be seamlessly be done using Power Automate. I can talk about some other third-party apps as well, UiPath and Automation Anywhere. These are the ones that comes straight out of my head right now. So this can also be used to integrate your Gmail account and then your Google Drive, doing some manipulations in the data, changing the data, and then sending it over the Gmail. So these things are there. But yeah, RPA tools, the ease of use, as I mentioned, there is a learning curve for that. Okay, and there should be minimal Excel data analysis. Like there should not be a lot of VLOOKUPs and a lot of pivot tables, sum ifs and count if that needs to be done. There are some extensive Excel activities. Then you should again go back to Excel. That if that thing can be done in Excel itself. Okay, and for effective use of it, you have to buy some paid plans, because most of the features I have the extent with which I have discovered it, that most of the features are paid usually. So, but still you can have a look about this RPA tools. So next is my personal favorite, and I think the one which has got immense possibilities and potential is this Python, because as I said that it can work on any of the tasks which you want to do. Okay, you have to integrate it with something, you have to do something else, you have to send emails, you have to fetch data from a website, or anything which you have to do. A lot of work can be done with the Python. Okay, so this is one which I would definitely suggest, but it again has a learning curve. You have to have some basic understanding, and that's also not very hard to have. If you with a basic practice of like 1 month, you can have a very good command over the Python language. Once you have that good command, you can use it for automating any of your work. actions like keyboard simulations are easily replicatable in Python. Like for this, I have one video of tally automation where I've shown that how Python can easily do your tally entries and at so ease without making any mistakes. So that is one that should have, and I believe that almost all things and everything can be automated, and it is free to use. There is no any paid plans for Python. Okay, so these are the three comparison. I'll just give you a practical example of when should one use which one tool. So like Excel, one can use if you have to merge all files in a folder. Then you have to make some image which is a fixed format. You have to add some VLOOKUPs. You have to from the product code. You have to add a product name. You have to add the some other customer name by using a VLOOKUP. You have to use the sum if, count if, some if or something like this, and then you have to make some pivot table, and definitely you have to at last give it as a presentation or as a summary to the over mail. So if this is the Excel based work which is involved, then you should go for an Excel only. Now again, if you have when you should go for an RPA or some RPA automation tools, you have to download data from a website and then you have to send some Outlook mails based on the data. So there's a very minimal Excel involved. Maybe the Excel is involved just for some data, very less of data formatting and all those things. So only these Excel is involved, but the main thing is the integration with the website and sending it a mail on a daily basis. So if this is the thing you want to automate, then RPA tools are great to use. Now, when will Python be used? In my case, so if you have to grab data from a website, you have to also grab some data from an Excel, some part of Excel and some part of website, and then you have to make some multiple reports out of the combined data. You have to make some manipulations, you have to add some rows, you have to delete some rows, you have to do all those things, and then you have to make multiple reports. Maybe they are customer-wise reports you have to make. You have to make customized report. You have to convert that into a PDF, and then you have to send a mail to all those customers with a different mail message and with a different message body. So again, you can do it over the mail merge, but again, the way of the level of customization which you can do on a mail merge is limited. But in Python, you are free to do any kind of customization that you want to do. In that way, I think these are the three use case for these tools that is there, and definitely you can reach out to me for any assistance or any confusion you have that how you should use it in your particular case use case scenario. You can definitely reach out to me. We have a Discord server. You can comment in the YouTube videos, or you can reach out to me directly via email. So that is a basic discussion of the various tools that I believe are at our disposal, and we should be able to use it anytime in our office as well. So, and going further, we'll discuss more on detail on how this can be used with some practical examples. So till that time, stay tuned and see you again in the next video.